Hello, everybody. Good morning. It's good morning where I am. I don't know where you are watching from, but good morning, Bad Cat, and welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Welcome, welcome, everybody. Move some stuff around. Hi, how are you, Tim? I'm good. How are you? Happy to be here. Hatib, hi, how are you too? So, hi, Carolina from Argentina. Hi from right now the United States, but I love Argentina. Ah, it's late in India. Adrian, I'm glad you like my work. Ryo, thank you. I mean, hi. Hey, Baymax, how you doing today? Right, okay. Well, I'm very happy to be here today. Thank you all for having me. I'm going to go ahead and just throw up a sphere. That sounds weird, right? Froze ZBrush for a second there because I moved too fast with my closing and opening of. And throw up a sphere for now. On symmetry, and then we can chit chat a little bit. Hi from Italy. I also love Italy. Boa tarde, Sandra. The woman with turban in your folder. Little sneak peek. I have a lot of saves of her. And then a lot of saves with other stuff too. She's not really wearing a turban though, and she was a study from Bernini's The Ecstasy of Saint Teresa. Greetings from Russia. Ian Vishar, hi. Welcome. Your save history is cool. You know me, I'm known for talking too much and having the world's coolest save history. Show us? Okay. Try to find the last one, you know? Maybe this one. Costa Rica. Hi, Mooncake. Elena, Tom. Oscar. My size. Yeah, it's not so good, but I have a lot of space. So this was from when I was showing my students on my workshop how to like create this like marbly texture straight in ZBrush. And this model was actually really fun. We did it in January. I run a sculpting workshop. In case you're interested, I'll put the link in chat already. But basically, it's a little workshop every month where we do a piece of a certain theme together. I'm gonna go ahead and put my links in now so that you guys can use them. So the workshops and mentorships. This month we are doing paleo arts, which basically we're doing like the most latest reconstruction of a T-Rex. Anyway, that's not important. What's important is that we're going to do something really cool today. What are you sculpting today, darling? Well, you guys will be happy to know. So, I am still working on this list, right? A lot of you have seen this list if you've been here before at the start of my streams in the past. But basically, I do these little cryptids for my TikTok series, and I think I've done some of these. But today, we are doing the Cthulhu, which a lot of people will say, Anna, that's not a cryptid, that's like Lovecraft lore. It's okay. We will overcome this problem and be a happy people with doing Cthulhu. The reason being is just that like I personally have a very broad definition of what a cryptid is, which for me is just like monster that maybe people think exists, you know, or like non-documented creature, like science-wise. So real fast, let's go ahead and take a look at what Google has to say as far as Cthulhu is concerned. So, Cthulhu. So I like this one from Myths and Folklore Wiki. Oh, Google is frozen. Fresh. This image, that one's nice, right? It's very, reminds me of that dude from Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh my goodness. This one's got style and flair. But we're gonna do our own take on the Cthulhu. Oh, this is beautiful. Who made this? Non-CG. Best 3D content on the web. Neat. Oh, okay, we're getting distracted. So real fast, I'm going to read off the Wikipedia. Cthulhu. Wikipedia. Cthulhu is a fictional cosmic entity created by H.P. Lovecraft. It was first introduced in his short story The Call of Cthulhu, published by the American pulp magazine Weird Tales in 1928. Great old one within the pantheon of Lovecraftian cosmic entities. This creature has since been featured in numerous popular culture references. The shape of a green octopus dragon in caricature of human form. I can do this. We're gonna get started. Loch Ness Monster will feature at some points. Gotta represent my country. So, good news and bad news. I did a Loch Ness Monster, and I lost all of the files except for like the very final. So making a TikTok for it was like a huge pain in the booty, basically. So I tried, and the TikTok turned out hideous. I even deleted it because there's just I posted it, and then I was like, I can't. This one must be hidden for science. Maybe I'll make another Loch Ness Monster. Maybe next stream. I've been streaming every week here. You still need to a giveaway thingy? Yes, I still have to announce the dates. Okay, let's get started. So, for Cthulhu, I'm gonna start with the overall head shape. And the side view, maybe make it elongated, as is customary, I guess. From cheekbones, eye spaces. Hello from Ukraine. Okay, so while we are blocking out, it's a great opportunity for me to introduce myself. So my name's Ana Carolina Pereira. I am a 3D technical artist and character artist from Brazil. I spent most of my career working in VR, the VR side of the industry, although my specialties are anything like game-based, including VR, which I consider to be basically the same thing. This song, I like it, but not for this, you know. I need more peaceful music. Same exact song starts playing again. Um, so that's my specialty, is virtual reality. If you guys have any questions about that industry, please feel free to ask it. I have been professionally working in the industry for 7 years now. And right now, I'm focused on education. So I am teaching at a college, the Ringling College of Art and Design. I have been for, actually, this is my 4th semester, so I'm closing the gap on 2 years for being at Ringling, which is crazy because I feel like I started in the middle of COVID, and so like I never really got to feel like I'm there, you know. Evgeny, thank you for getting on the stream. I'm glad you're here. Lately, I have been running my own little mentorship business, helping people take their careers to the next level, helping troubleshoot their problems. And I love it. I gotta tell you, like, there's something thrilling about, this might sound bad, but like, if somebody's struggling, you know, they're doing something that isn't optimal, like they're applying everywhere, not getting jobs, not getting interviews, like I come in like a force of nature and I troubleshoot what's wrong. And that is super fun and thrilling for me, and it helps them. I love it. I think I'm really into it. I think I'm gonna do this for a while. Okay, so we got like a little Cthulian head, right? This Cthulian head. So let's go ahead and make a neck. Should I use a new sphere for the neck or just pull out of here? I think I'm just gonna use a new sphere for the neck. So I'm gonna append here. Oh. I'm gonna give him like really bad posture. I think that's pretty customary with this kind of monster. Necessary. Posture is important in your 3D models. You don't want to accidentally, you know, make your model feel unbalanced, weightless, or like it's gotta topple over at any time. Like top heavy, or leaning too much in one direction while it's in T-pose. Posture matters. I think this time I'm gonna actually add some delts in. Brush can be a little easier to manage because it has the alt drag. What's the difference between dots and freehand? I think, Asuka, like, if I had to tell you, I'd say that freehand puts the dots so close together you can't see the space between them, whereas dots, the brush, like, the pressure or the alpha gets applied a little more infrequently. That's what I think it is. I'm very excited for this model. I woke up this morning and I didn't know what I was gonna make, and I was like, oh, hopefully I can pick something that excites me, and I think I did it. I think it's a success. It excites me for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and quick save. Do you model in VR? I tried it in Malta. Ooh, the unicorn thing. So explain to me that event, because I don't know what goes on in that event. It just looks, it looks so mysterious to me, you know? Trojan horses and unicorn. But yeah, I do some sculpting in VR sometimes and modeling, but I prefer desktops much more. Hey John, how are you? I'm doing good. And how are you? Who are we sculpting today? We are sculpting Cthulhu today. Do you ever use Sculptress, or do you prefer Dynamesh? I went through a Sculptress phase where I only used Sculptress for like 2.5 years. But now I'm back on Dynamesh. Both are good for different reasons, right? So I recommend just trying both out and seeing what do you like. Sculptress kind of creates a messier vibe in the in the triangles and the topology, but Dynamesh kind of does everything at the same time, while Sculpt just lets you like be targeted with the approach, right? Like only Sculpt just Pro parts of it and things like that. So that's one of the benefits, and it's so flexible. It's such an incredibly flexible workflow. So you work in VR. Did you ever have motion sickness while testing things? Great question. So right now I'm teaching for students, and I have to play test their games, and yeah, sometimes I get motion sick, but it's very, very, very hard for me to get motion sick because I've done it for so many years, right? Like I have a very like a stomach of steel when it comes to VR. I call it VR legs. It's like sea legs, right? Like the more you're on a ship, the less likely you are to be sick on the ship. So they have sea legs, we have VR legs. The more you are in VR, the less likely you are to be sick in VR. I have gotten sick before, but not in a very long time. And normally not with the products I've created in the past, because every product I've ever made has been specifically designed for the weak of stomach, I guess. So there's a lot of tricks and rules you can follow to get it like a nice, easy experience as far as all of that's concerned. But the very first time I ever tried VR was at school when I was still in class. This company that was doing this like oil rig simulation came by to showcase it to us, and it was running at like 13 frames per second, and they put us all through it. Like that is incredibly irresponsible, and I can talk about this for hours. But basically, the way I teach my students is, when you put somebody in VR or when you make a game, right? In VR or a product or whatever, odds are you are going to be somebody's first time in VR. And odds are, if you're not being careful to follow the rules and guidelines that keep people safe, keep people feeling comfortable, if you are not having the frame rates refresh at an acceptable rates, and all of this stuff, like you might be endangering both their good feelings and wellness, but also our client base, because I know so many people who are like, oh, I tried VR one time and I didn't like it. That didn't feel good, so I'm never gonna try it again. Boom. That's one person that's never going to give VR another chance, as far as we know, right? Now multiply this by 100,000, 200,000, a million, right? You're just diminishing what is already a pretty limited customer base. Now in 2022, VR is a little bit more mainstream, but imagine back in like 2016 or something, like when we were still to a degree pushing, right? Whenever we used to sell VR to companies, like our experiences and like our services, like we didn't just sell our services, we had to sell VR as a concept and as a whole. We'd have to be like, hey, this is why VR is cool. This is why you need it, And so nowadays it's a little bit more. So it's the baseline. I guess the base work has been completed. Anyway, I can talk about this for literally 100 years, and I could pull up multiple PowerPoints. That's how ready I am to talk about this. First time I watched a stream, it's really exciting, Mooncake. I'm glad you're excited. Boa tarde, Fabiano. I need to get up ASAP and sculpt along. I just woke up. Udon, same. No, I woke up just in time to do my makeup and then come here. It's not really gonna look like Cthulhu until we throw on some really nice tentacles, but we gotta start here. So kind of a little alien-y looking starts, right? Not a big deal, nothing so crazy. I'm going to go ahead and merge down so that we can start Dynameshing. There's the question from earlier. We're going to be using Dynamesh today, and I always start at the lowest possible resolution and test from there. I think 32 is a little too low, and 56 is fine. Might even be slightly too high. Maybe like 46 would have been perfect. A little smooth. Then just go from there. I'm trying to decide when is too early to add tentacles, but I think we are gonna need them like sooner rather than later. Have you ever tried likeness sculpt? Of course. I've done a lot of likeness sculpting. I've even taught it on the workshop. Oi, Carolina. Aqui é o Renato de BH, sempre te acompanhando. Amo seus trabalhos. Obrigada, Renato. Bem-vindo. Ever tried VR on a boat? I don't think so, but I don't find myself on boats very often. My first experience in VR was over 20 years ago at a science center where you explored the human digestive tract. This was in the late 90s. We don't want to talk about how the late 90s was over 20 years ago. I gotta kind of think a bit about what kind of emotion I want to get out of this Cthulhu boy here. Does it even have to be a boy? Or would it being this old even have a necessity for a gender? It is like a deep sea creature, right? Those don't reproduce always on a binary level. The ocean is full of crazy stuff. If you're gonna be inspired for creatures, like go watch some ocean documentaries. Do you guys here like watching documentaries? Are you suggesting I'm too old, Anna? I'm suggesting I'm feeling a little old right now. Mostly because, like, when I think of the 90s, my brain doesn't think it was 20 years ago. That's not how my brain thinks. It thinks it was less than that. Like, it was the 90s, you know? But now we got people that are working that they were born in 2000 and something. Which to me is crazy. Anyway, I don't want to get existential about the state of my age. I say with a twitch in my eye. You know, what would make this character very unique is if he was wearing, like, his tentacles like a little shawl or something. Pode me dar uma dica de mesa digitalizadora boa, não sei qual comprar. Das políticas eu recomendo qualquer uma que seja experimentar antes de comprar, só pra ver se você gosta. Eu uso só as da Wacom. São as únicas que eu uso, são as únicas que eu confio. Eu tô usando agora Wacom Intuos, só que eu também tenho uma Wacom Cintiq. Miguel, thank you. Gracias. I've been practicing a lot and I still don't see any progress. Do you have any advice? Oh my gosh, that is a great question. And first, I'm sorry you're going through that. It happens to almost everybody, okay? It's just a normal plateau. So, let's talk about it though. Let me turn the music down. I do not like hearing it. Have you been I've been practicing a lot and I still don't see any progress. Do you have any advice? There's this saying that goes, there's, how exactly does it go? It's like, You can have like 10 years of experience, or you can have the same year experience 10 times or something like that. Basically, it means even though you're busy working, practicing, you might be plateauing because you're not seeking innovation or learning new things or trying new challenges. You're just kind of repeating the same thing over and over again. 9 times out of 10, that's what's gonna make this effect that you're talking about. So where you're practicing and practicing and not getting any better. Okay, so you need to take a hard look at how you're practicing, right? What are you doing with the practice? Are you making the same kind of character again and again? Are you just doing heads again and again? Are you not giving yourself enough of a challenge every day? So what I recommend is actually the hard approach, the really hard approach, which is make a list of what you're worst at. So some people don't like to sculpt hands, some people don't like to sculpt whatever it is. Even if it's not sculpting, it can be retopology and texturing and things like that, okay? Make a list of what you're worst at and what you don't like to do. Odds are you don't like to do the things because you're not good at them, right? So like it's kind of the same list. And from there, try to make a point to practice those things. And those things will get you outside of your comfort zone and get you practicing in a new way, like never before, so to speak. It will supercharge you and throw you out of your plateau. Even like a week or two of doing this will be enough to probably kind of have some better results and make you feel like you're making progress. It can be very disheartening to feel like you're busy but not productive. And that's like a thing, right? There's a difference between being busy and being productive. Who here has felt that before in their lives? Right? Oftentimes in a job, you're just like blah, 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 doing the same thing over and over again. I'm so busy, but like at the end of the day, you can be more productive, right? Like it doesn't mean the same thing, So really be honest with yourself. Like ask yourself, am I living the same day again and again as opposed to a new day every day? It's like tough, right? Little tough. Okay, let's think about tentacles for a second. So I like using the curve tube brush or the curve tube snap. Let's see, even start with the curve tube brush. I'm gonna go to stroke, curve mode, lock start so that the tentacle doesn't wiggle right off the face. And then I'm going to go to modifiers, size, and I'm gonna make it like skinnier as it goes down. Test. Maybe a little less skinny at the top. Woo. Maybe I should do like a really skinny start of the curve because that might blend a little bit better into the face. Ooh, like that. Then I'm gonna just woo. How do tentacles? I'm just gonna stop the question there. How do tentacles? God, this is ridiculously fun. I was not gonna go for something crazy like this. Famous last words. Okay, that one's kind of a failure. Let's take that one out. This is just kind of testing, guys. Please don't Judge. It's. I was not going to go for something crazy, but like I kind of like it crazy. I think it's a little different than most of the designs. However, let's talk about design for a second. You know, when you make the single elements of the creature um kind of like large like this, it reduces the size of the overall creature. And Cthulhu is supposed to be this like big honkin' dude, right? Like gigantic. So we'll see. I'm just gonna split this so that it goes to a separate subtool. Then I'm gonna select the tentacles again, move brush, and just kind of blend it in just ever so slightly. Looks like he's eating some ramen. But it's rebrand ramen eater. Looks awesome. Thank you. Best name I can think of. Pirata do Caribe, super alien. I featured Sunday stream last weekend. I enjoyed it very much. Thank you. Thank you, Frank, for stopping by. É, John, eu sou brasileira. I'm just going, I'm literally going backwards in chat. What VR headset do you recommend, and how much space do you need for space? So, right now, the Oculus Quest 2 is the one I recommend because it can be used tethered to the computer if you have the link cable, and it can be used on its own. So it's the most versatile one. It's the most modern one, and you can actually not use a lot of space because you can do just standing instead of walking around. So you can just kind of make like a 2-meter circumference for yourself. Santiago, I feel your pain. My issue is creative block. Don't know what to make, really. Then join my workshop and I will make you do stuff. Valeu, vou procurar um modelo dessa marca. Já me inscrevi nesse canal. What time is the stream tomorrow? So the stream tomorrow is 5 p.m. Central Time. So for those of you who don't know, I have my own Twitch stream that has made a big comeback. I took some time off and now I'm back. And it's every Sunday at 5 p.m. Central. XP Pen not working with ZBrush. Oh no. I never used an XP Pen before, so I'm not the right person to ask. However, try doing a little Google and finding the forums. I'm sure there's a lot of good info. Very good point. So true about being busy and productive. Sometimes I need failure for little mistakes to adapt. Oh my god, yeah. Like, let's talk about failure for a second, right? Like, we are all so afraid of failure. Aren't we? Are you afraid of failure? I think we all have been, even if we're not anymore at some points. Because failure, you know, it's spooky. When you're faced with doing something new, you're worried a lot of the time about failing at it. What are other people gonna think if I'm not great at it, you know? Am I gonna embarrass myself? Things like that. And like that stuff is so annoying and difficult to get over, right? Like, so what if you fail at first? Life is long. One day we're all going to die. I think about my death every day, like at least 40 times. It's like, it's so true. Like, one day we're all gonna die, guys. Like, why does it matter if we weren't good at something right off the bat, right? Why does it matter if our sculpt isn't perfect yet, right? This is something I've had to deal a lot with, well, both professionally but also as a streamer, right? When you start a sculpt, it always looks ugly. Like, I don't know anybody who makes a pretty sculpt right off the bat, but to take it to the next level, when you're a streamer, there's people watching you struggle through the ugly phase of your model, right? And that can be a little scary and spooky. But then you have to just realize that, like, you know, it's life. It's life. What are you gonna do, right? Nothing has to be pretty all the time. How do you select and unselect the tentacles? So I've already kind of moved them to their own sub tool, but if I turn on polyframe, you'll notice that they're all different subgroups. Whenever you have, or I'm sorry, polygroups. Whenever you have polygroups, you can just Control Shift click on them and it'll invert, or you'll select it. If you click on them again, you can kind of invert the selection. If they're not in the same, or if they're not all different polygroups, but they are different objects, you can just go to polygroups and auto groups, and it will basically change all the little colors of the groups into new one, new groups. I'm just trying to catch up with you at this point. It's not that I need to. I know I can go at my own pace, lol. I just want to challenge myself a bit. Yes, it's Cthulhu. Chloe Tentacles. The only VR game I've seen are walkthrough horror ones. Hell no. Is it on Twitch? What's your Twitch name? Let me put the link for you guys in chats. It is on Twitch. It's I'm Anna Carolina Arts on every platform you can think of, basically. Oh, I forgot to post my Discord earlier. Where are you from? I'm from Brazil. I failed a lot to pick myself back up and get better. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, like failure, right? Where was I going with that? Think about it. It's like I read this thing on, I was on TikTok. This girl goes up there and she says something like, in order to increase your success, you need to have the courage to fail twice as much. Or was it like fail twice as fast? Twice as much. And what she meant, I think, was that like you need to try things. And you need to not be scared to try things. And you need to try and try and try and try. And eventually something is going to be like, holy shit, the next big thing. Right? Especially if you have really big dreams. You have to try a lot, and trying means failing a lot, and there's nothing wrong with failing at all. It's how you learn. It's how you figure out what doesn't work. It's how you come up with new ideas for what does work, right? How you push yourself. I really wish we didn't have such a stigma on failing, and you know, it all comes back down to school systems, I think, you know, because you only have one chance to do a test or homework, and then you fail, and then, you know, that's it. And then your parents yell at you or something. You know, whatever it is that happened. You failed. But real life is not like that, right? Real life is not like that. Real life is more like, who cares if you failed? Like, first, nobody even has to know how many times you failed. And then, second, right? Nobody will remember. Even if they're watching you and eating popcorn and laughing at all your mistakes, right? At the end of the day, once you've finally had the resilience, the creativity, and like the courage to fail so much that you find something big, they're gonna forget all of that failure. They're gonna be like, oh my god, I knew him in high school. You know what I'm talking about? I went to college with him. Oh, my like some of my bullies from college that like try to detract from me say that. They're like, oh, I knew her. Yeah. Like, you know, nobody cares at the end of the day, and we're all going to die anyway. Just giving him some pecs while I'm talking. Just a little bit of a block out. Let's go ahead and throw that delt over to the other side. So I'm going to select, I would have selected, there it is, select dates, then geometry, modified topology, mirror and welds. Boom. Oh, I forgot to turn symmetry on. Give me a sec. We're gonna work out the shape a little later. The master has failed more times than the beginner has ever even tried. Nice, Abyssal Pearl. I love that saying. Shadekeeper. I'm 31 and I don't think about it much. I've given up on many models and sculpts because I didn't think it looked good when I should have stuck with it and pushed through. Oh my god. That is so true. Such a difficult lesson to learn, Tempter. Such a difficult one. A huge part of my mentorship is just me yelling at people who don't want to finish stuff. I'm like, did you finish your assignment? And they go like, no, I started a new one. And I'm like, what? What? After everything we've been through? After everything I said? There's a lot of value to be had from actually finishing a piece, even if it's imperfect. Like, I was watching this YouTube video like a year ago, and I should watch it again because I misquoted to hell. So speaking about failure, like it's me quoting this freaking video, right? I can't even find it because I don't remember who made it. But anyway, this person goes, there is a toll to the artist's psyche when you don't finish pieces, and this isn't one piece. You cannot finish one piece, and in fact, I recommend it. Right? There is such a thing as, what is it called? Like a sunk cost fallacy. Like, oh, I've already worked on this for so long, I need to finish it. Like, no, not necessarily. But there's a toll that happens to your psyche as an artist on average, not everybody, of course, but a lot of us, when you start not finishing things again and again, and instead of being a one-off, it becomes a pattern. It becomes a pattern of not finishing things. You get really excited to start things, but deep down you're like, oh, but why do I even bother? Because I'm not going to finish it. What are the odds? And then finishing things become this like huge mountain for you. And you just keep restarting and restarting and restarting. But if you can embrace the fact that no matter how many times you restart, it's still going to be imperfect, because art is a human creation. And humans are imperfect. We'll never be perfect. In fact, perfection is a made-up thing, right? It's just right in the head. Nowhere else there's perfection, right? And if we can embrace that and say, even though it's imperfect and it'll never be perfect, I'm going to finish this, I'm going to post it on my ArtStation, and then I'm going to start a new one, it rewires the brain to trust yourself again, because we lose trust in ourselves once we start letting ourselves down, once we break promises to ourselves, right? And kind of like not being able to finish things. This is like breaking a promise to yourself. You're like, I can't trust myself to finish this thing. It just takes a toll, is what I'm saying. And being able to finish something imperfect will heal that, and it will take you to the next level. That endlessly churning the same art again and again won't ever take you to. The process you take in getting to the finished part is the most exciting part. I feel there's a lot of value in the journey as much as the finished product. It's cool to see others figure out and work the details as they go. Yeah, for sure. It was stopping me from drawing anything for ages. I'm a developer, but I'd like to make a game, and I'm really struggling with the art part. It's very difficult to learn, for sure. Would you recommend beginner intermediate artists stream their sculpts art in general, or only those who have developed a solid workflow? So, Emmanuel, when I started streaming, I didn't know anything, dude. Like, I was just hoping for the best, and I got better by doing it, by streaming it, working, and stuff like that. Like, when I started streaming 4 years ago, my very first stream on my personal channel, before I started Pixelogic, I just had a model that I downloaded from Fuse. Do you know what? Adobe Fuse? And I was just rotating around it and talking to people. I was just doing this. Oh yeah, very interesting. Yeah, this is where I went to school. Yeah, this is, yeah, yeah. Basically, that was my first stream. Like, I was not fast. I didn't have a solid workflow. Like, I didn't have any of that you're saying. So, do you need that to stream? No. If you want to stream, if it calls to you, it doesn't call to everybody. If it calls to you, just stream. The only recommendations I have are to do a little Googling first about like best practices of streaming. Um, really, really get centered on why you want to stream. Normally, streaming is for some people it's the end goal, but not really. Like the end goal is to make friends, build a community, uh, get clients. You know, there's 1,000 different reasons one might stream. God. And then just be careful with it too, because it's very public and you don't want to make mistakes. Like, and I'm not talking about like ZBrush mistakes. I'm talking about like what you say and things like that. Okay, so this project, you know, to speak on what I've been talking about, this project's a mess so far, so we're going to tidy it up a little. We should probably add eyes first. Little eyes. Perhaps I can do something funky with the eyes. I often like to like sketch in where I want the eyes to go. The orientation of the eyes matters a lot. The overall character design. The eyes are the windows to the soul. Literally. When you're thinking of art, just assume that the eyes are the most important part of the character, in my opinion. So, I'm gonna go ahead and insert a little primitive. I'm gonna keep the eyes pretty small, actually, because the smaller you make the eyes, the larger the rest of the body seems to be. So that's why when people are drawing kids, they make the eyes huge. And they're making things like dinosaurs, maybe the eyes are not so big. Whales. I'm gonna go ahead and split. Unmask points. Still haven't really gotten a feel for like who he is in my interpretation and what he's feeling. Looks concerned. Not failure also means no progress. Exactly, Santiago. É muito fácil não errar quando não se faz nada. Some of us already dead here. Ghost of Christmas Future, I love it. I'm just gonna do the bust, Chris. Bust. Silva, hi. Antonius, hello. A lot of people here that I didn't even see yet. Hi, Carol. Hey, Assassin. Pato, famous old geezer, Cthulhu. I think you spelled it wrong. But then again, it's very difficult to spell. Whenever I do Isaiah Pentasphere in Mirror World, once I have it where I want, but you didn't do that and it was way faster. Yeah, Miguel. So this particular method works really fast, but only if you don't have subdivisions. If you do, it kind of, you know, gets in the way. Oh my goodness. André, boa tarde. So yeah, let's start fleshing this bad boy out. So I guess let's mesh it a little higher. I think I need some like more octopus references. But I'm just gonna like riff off my intuition for now. Oh, I just realized it's almost Valentine's Day. I should probably do a Valentine's stream tomorrow. What a time to be alive, people. Never really cared about Valentine's Day. ever. Looks too cute. What's that? I just love your stream. Thank you. Cupid Hulu. Cupid Cthulhu. Can you sculpt some chocolates on Valentine's? Maybe. Depends. Depends on if I can come up with more ideas or not. Okay. You get hired with tentacles, that's a good funny idea. You ever print your sculptures? Yes, I do. Actually, you can kind of see them behind me. Right there. I'm gonna mask blasto this little head. I think bring it down a bit. I like that design a bit more. Less pointy, more droopy. We'll work the precise shape and more. He's a hunchback. He's gone from skinny to chunky, and I like that. These are all technical terms, of course. Yeah, push the too far. Which resin printer did you settle on? So I have a Frozen Mighty 4K and it's absolutely wonderful. Make some giant prints. Let me show you. Boom. That's not even as big as it goes. And this is just one piece. This is one of my first prints ever. Well, I keep deltoid pipe for the rest of the torso. Just that way I started it, it was gonna be hard to pull the deltoid out, so I just added it separate, and then I'm gonna mesh it together like very soon. Oh gosh, my nose. Here, I'll just join them now. Merge down. Okay, there it is. You like the new cloth brushes? I do. Did you do the yoga? Not so much. This guy looks sick. Inspired by Cthulhu? It's actually going to be Cthulhu. Little Cthulhu. Little Cthulhu boy. I'm gonna soften the head here to kind of avoid a, like, a bold, like, horse... What is it? A horse shoe hair look? Okay, are we listening to classical music? No, it's very nice. Nice. When did this happen, right? I'm still on the ADM channel. I'm working on my first dragon head. Maybe I'll put it in your Discord in a few days. No, hopefully. Go ahead and share my links again with you guys. To follow me on social media, use these links. I have a lot of free content, and you can keep up to date with my artwork and things like that, my projects that I'm working on, my collabs. If you follow my Twitch, you will be able to see my Sunday streams that I do independently. They're still ZBrush streams though, and I have a lot of giveaways planned. Like, I'm going to be doing challenges for days. I'm partnered with Wacom to give away Wacom tablets, and I'm going to be giving away workshop spots for my workshop and things like that. So make sure to follow me on Twitch and stop by the stream for when I announce the dates. Join my Discord, which is the best place to always keep up to date with giveaways and things like that. And you can get to know and network with a bunch of professionals, 3D artists, people in the industry, show off your work, get feedback, give feedback, and all sorts of good stuff. You can browse my workshop and mentorship through the next set of links I'm posting, the Gumroad. Basically, I teach a workshop that runs every month, every single Wednesday. Every single month we do a different theme of sculpting, and the goal is to just become a better sculptor through new challenges. And we all do a piece basically from scratch to portfolio ready by the end of the month. So normally we start from Z-spheres or sphere or something like that, and then we go to render at the end of the month. It's really neat. And then there's the one-on-one mentorship. If you need somebody to help figure out something that might be wrong with your practice, with your skills, with your... Oh, the air station's not found? Okay, I'll fix that. With your practice, with your skills, with... if you're applying for jobs and not hearing back, if you want somebody to help you get to the next level, like both artistically and career-wise, please feel free to check out my mentorship. Alright, basically it's a customized curriculum where we go over your goals, strengths, weaknesses. I have you do research, kind of get up to date with everything you need to know, and then we do projects and things like that. And I just hold you accountable, give you deadlines and things. I have some spots still open. Actually, it's less than it shows. I'm going to, after the stream's over, close a few because I accidentally opened too many spots. But it's really fun, and you can get lots of help from. Thank you, Santi. Oh, and lastly, my YouTube, my tutorials. Let me put that on there. And thank you so much, Tardo Rave, for posting my proper YouTube. I wonder why my ArtStation link broke. How you doing? I'm doing good. I'm new here. I was sculpting something on ZBrush and I got distracted by your stream, and now I'm so curious to see the final result of your character, Baby Carno. Oh, I'm glad you're here. You should do Cthulhu too. We should do Cthulhu's together. I'll give him like lots of. To be completely fair, I don't know what I'm doing as far as design yet. I just know that I want to embrace that octopus like soft squishiness, you know, sackiness. Is sackiness a word? It is in my stream. Give him like, you know, collarbones and everything hanging off of it. Okay. Dario, tudo bem? Queria um conselho seu, se puder dar. Sou novo no ZBrush, inclusive estou a tirar um curso na área, porém, devido ao Covid, o curso passou a ser online. Então, complica muito a aprendizagem. Tem alguma dica para não perder motivação em aprender ZBrush? Ué, continua fazendo curso. Só porque é online, tipo, você vai passar o resto da sua carreira inteira aprendendo coisa online. YouTube, stream, sabe? Você tá aqui agora online. Eu acho que online não é bem uma desculpa pra não sentir-se motivado. E eu sei que eu falar isso não ajuda, né? Só que eu acho que não, então eu repensaria um pouquinho. Só que continua, faz o curso da completição. E depois faz o próximo, e o próximo, e o próximo, e o próximo. E vários dos melhores cursos que você vai fazer vão ser online, realmente, porque vão ser com os melhores artistas da área, que normalmente vão fazer curso online, sabe? E essa é a beleza da nossa tecnologia, né? Que você pode fazer um curso com uma pessoa na Rússia, em Paris, sem sair de casa. Então tem isso. Cthulhu have nipples? I think so. That's too much though. Enough to get me banned from Twitch, dang. We'll leave that out for now. Mas no assunto de motivação, tenta pensar, passa meia hora assim, com um caderninho e anota por que você quer aprender ZBrush, o que você quer da vida, o que você quer do seu futuro, onde você quer morar, que carro você quer dirigir, etc. E cria uma imagem bem clara de por que você está aprendendo ZBrush, por que você está tentando. Por quê? Por quê? Nem todo mundo aprende ZBrush. Não é universal. Por que a gente aprende ZBrush, né? Cada uma pessoa tem sua resposta. E quando você estiver desmotivado, abre o caderno e lembra. Lembra o porquê. Obrigado, Léo. Tartara V, obrigada. How did you make the tentacles? I just used the I showed it earlier on the stream, so if you scroll back, you'll be able to see it. But I used the curve tube brush, and then I went to stroke, curve modifiers, and I made it so that's the size, in the size thing, was bigger at the root and then skinnier at the edge. And then I just like wiggled it everywhere, you know? As usual, I'm sculpting along with my mentor, making my own version of Cthulhu. Just installed the newest ZBrush. I want to try again a 3D project. What's your favorite new tool in ZBrush from 2022 0.5? Favorite tool. So I think the stager, but that's not from 2022.5, right? It was from 2022, I think. Or was it? This year. Or last year. What does V1, V2, etc. mean in the subtool palette? Visibility set 1, 2. Oh, this is cool. I hadn't noticed that before. So I think we can set groups for visibility. Ooh. That way, instead of having to go in here, like let's say I only want to show like all the subtools of the shirt. Let's say the shirt has like 13 subtools. I can just set them all to V3 or something. And that way all the subtools of the shirt are visible, but nothing else is. Actually, this is very nice. I've never used this before. This is why I like streaming. You guys ask me questions and I'm like, what? There's a thing there that I've looked at 1,000 times and never noticed, you know? Who here plays the game Dead by Daylight? I just decided that I'm gonna try to make this Cthulhu as if it was like a monster from that game. But the game is pretty like bloody and stuff, so I'm just gonna make it creepy in some way. I don't know what way yet. Let's see together. You and I, we're seeing this design take shape in real time together, so. I like to make a crazy curvy collarbone. I don't know what it is about a crazy curvy collarbone that appeals to me. But a lot of my creatures have it. Do you have any concept arts on the side, or do you do these Cthulhu daily? I don't have concept art on the side. I'm designing it myself. I have reference though for like um, past Cthulhus that have been made that I'm trying to not copy, obviously. Let's see. I am about to pull up some octopus reference though because I need to. Reference. Octopus referral code. Wow. I want my very octopus Cthulhu. You know, that's why I made him all lumpy. Like, I called it sack-like. I don't think that's an unfair comparison. I'm gonna be honest. So guys, I got the octopus. While Cthulhu or the killer takes it was the map. It would be like Cthulhu's baby. The other entity is the killer. Is there a way to easily swap back and forth between two brushes? I was jumping back and forth between the Z modeler and move infinite depth. The best way is to either set up your own shortcuts and set like one to number 1, one to number 2, for example. And then from there, you'll be able to easily swap. And if you don't want to do that, then just memorize their shortcuts. Like just about every brush has a shortcut in ZBrush. You just kind of look at the little letters here. So like if I hit M, all the brushes that start with M show up, and then the next letter that pops up here is the next letter to get the shortcut. So like to get mask perfect circle, it'd be MR. So it just comes down to shortcuts. Are we looking at the same tick screen, or is this a separate monitor? It's a separate monitor. Knights, do not worry. One sec. Você pode falar como está o mercado de trabalho aí? Tipo, está aquecido com contratações ou ainda está meio lento por causa de tudo que está acontecendo nos últimos 2 anos? Ele está... Eu não sei dizer. Eu acho que está bem. Eu tô vendo muitas postagens, coisas assim. Really messed up the delt situation. We'll get back to that later. Rice, I prefer both, actually. Have you done blend shapes? Yeah, actually, I've done so many blend shapes in my life. In fact, I even have tutorials on it. What language do you dream in? It depends on who else is in the dream. Hello from Russia. Hi, Eldar. I dream in shapes. Tá brabo, obrigada. I'm not gonna lie, this Cthulhu kind of looks like my dad. Click save. Make an AOT character. AOT. fazemos para outros Caribe. What did you make during your personal stream last week? I haven't watched it yet. I started on the Capricorn, like the monster from the Capricorn sign. I want to paint the eyes. You know how I am. I don't remember what material I like to use when I'm doing gluing eyes. Which one is it? Works. I'm gonna change my material type to, or my brush type to material, paint that on, then switch to paint, go back to my normal material, and now just the eyes should be painted. Oh yeah, that's the right material right there. What would be a good eye color for Cthulhu? I think yellow or red. I'm gonna do yellow and red. I'm gonna go ahead and paint the body whites or like gray. Eyes. Then yellow. If you ever catch me just staring at the other screen, it's because I'm looking at the little overlay or OBS viewfinder, and I'm trying to figure out if I like it, like what I'm working on. Normally I like to start with darker colors. I don't know why I didn't today. Black. Red. Octopus have horizontal slits, I'm realizing. Should I go for really horizontal slits? Yes, so I think that's very octopus. Did you make the tendril thingies? This is all I've made so far. Just the tentacles. I don't understand the question. But yes, I have made this. I haven't made anything else. No tendrils. Itoroi, how many hours did you say you spent sculpting today? It's just an hour and 24 minutes. In life? I don't know. How did you learn anatomy? Through practice and observation and like sculpting from photographs and, you know, reading about it. Enjoy the stream. Might want to start a VR sculpting project this year. Nice, independent hands. I hope you do. Dark Cthulhu looks actually very nice. Just color fill. How did you learn anatomy? I just started. Oh, I already answered that one. How will you add the polypoles and the tentacles by making new alphas? So you mean like the little sucky thingies? I looked in the references like that I had, and it just seems that Cthulhu doesn't have those in his front tentacles like a lot of the times. I just decided to leave them out. A little too much like an elephant. We gotta work that out. I think once the tentacles are kind of fitting in, it'll be better though. Thank you, Shader Keeper. I'm glad you like it. Trying to get a little bit more like an octopus eye shape. Oops. Except what material did you use on the eyes? It was the quad shaders material. Quad shaders. Normally I use toy plastic, but quad shaders has more of a iridescence look that I liked. You don't ever do it through topology, right? And ever is a harsh word. I won't do it through topology because it's not game or animation ready. It's never going to be. But if I was doing this for a game or animation, I would certainly retopologize. I'm gonna turn on IQ curve on my snake hook and try adding in some spikes and stuff to break it up a little bit. Turn off the tentacles for now. Okay, crab shell. Use dynamic topology Sculptress. Right now I'm just using Dynamesh, but I have used a lot of Sculptress Pro in my past. Looks so put it. I already read that. I already read a lot of these things. Dang, I'm finally caught up. I'm going on the eyeballs, and I'm going to go to poly paint and just colors, and from here you can change the hue. And I'm gonna try it yellow, just to see. Adjust colors. About a yellowy orange. I like that. I do enjoy that. I'm liking the Sapphire. Thank you, Cantonius. I'm glad you like it. Oh my goodness. Is ZBrush good for fixing really high poly messed up triangle topology? So yes, you can use ZModeler, ZRemesher, a bunch of other stuff. Muito obrigada, Chris. Guys, I need to take like a quick moment to blink because now that I said it, you'll notice it. I don't blink when I'm working. I just don't. Like, every end of the day, like, my eyes will be so bloodshot that my students will be like, "Are you okay? Are you okay, Yan? Your eyes, they look awful." I just need to, every once in a while, like, I need to put on a timer to, like, really make sure my eyes are blinked. What will you prefer, Cintiq Pro or Pen Tablet? Is it necessary to have a Cintiq? I do not have, though, but wanted to buy. I'm really confused by these two. Richardson, I'm going to tell you what I tell everyone, which is, to be honest, I like both. I have both. I'm using Cintiq now, like, it's new, you know. I've used the Intuos for million years, and I must tell you that the key is to just try it before you buy it. Like, just go, if you can, go somewhere that has it and try it out. Try both the Intuos and the Cintiq. See which one you like the best. They're totally different. They're, at the end of the day, they get the same job done. So it's up to you if you like it or not. It's a personal decision. There's no pros to like the actual art itself, you know, like at the end of the day, you can make good art with either. Oh no. You really can make good art with either. I like to say that some people think they need a screen tablet to make good arts, but that's just like saying that you need a fancy car to be a good driver. You don't need a fancy car to be a good driver. At the end of the day, you just need a car, right? As long as it drives. Hi from your fan in Malaysia. Oh, thank you, Tuan. Blink. Callie, Al. Is it Callie Al? Callie Al, I'm glad you like it. We're Cthulhuing it up today. I'm gonna do a little, something with the tentacles here. I don't know what yet, but we are doing it. Giving them a little bit of life. Making sure that they're not overlapping too. Like I don't like an overlapping tentacle. Or hair, especially hair. This is an EDM playlist. Can't get over the fact that it's been playing some like random stuff for us today. For the standard to give it a little bit of fun shape. Annas. Você depois pode ensinar como colocar os olhos com plástico, mas não jogar no modelo todo. Não estou sabendo separar sem problema. Eu ensinei antes, só que basicamente eu usei a Paintbrush. E quando você aperta espaço, dá pra escolher o tipo, se é Z-Add, Z-Sub, material ou RGB. Se você escolher material, mudar o material e pintar, vai parecer que tá em tudo. Mas só vai ficar na área que você pintar. Quando você mudar de volta, aí vai ficar o material só naquela área. Very great advice, regardless of the fact that you can always change the calibration and pressure settings. Try before you buy, or watch video reviews to determine the dimensions you want. What did you model in? This is ZBrush. I'm modeling it completely in ZBrush. How do you go about merging those tentacles once you're ready to go? I'm gonna do it today, but basically I'm going to just simply merge it as a subtool, kind of like merge two subtools together, and from there I'm going to Dynamesh. Just kind of creating this V shape at the top so that when I Dynamesh, it already kind of pre-blends itself in. My dream is having and using ZBrush for the iPad Pro. Do you eventually merge the tentacle mouth parts to the mesh and make it all one mesh? Yes, I will. Do you work at Pixel or just an official instructor? I am just an instructor, just a streamer. Just a little streamer. Nothing more. But I've been doing it for 4 years. Got a little wobbly. And then this little lower subdivision. A little. I move typological to change silhouette, isn't it? Lady Lovecraft, hello. Do you find yourself using photogrammetry tool much? Not a lot. ZBrush is impressive. I usually see Maya or Blender import to ZBrush. Yeah, I just started in ZBrush. If you want, you can go back and see like the process. How lovely. How do you do it without losing more complex detail? Do you just retopo and project? Yeah, sometimes. Like I literally just zero mesh and project. Can you add animations in ZBrush or is it more texture focused? ZBrush is more organic sculpting focused, but you also can do hard surface modeling with ZModeler. I would not use it necessarily as an animation tool. I don't even know if you can, but it's great for making blend shapes for your animation tools. I know he just looks like he's done with your, with you. He just doesn't look mad yet, you know? We're gonna work on that next. I think he's supposed to like come out of the sea on a rampage, you know, not so much of scolding, more of a killing everything fight kind of guy. A pinch brush on the edges here to kind of tighten them up. Make sure that the eyelids are round and somewhat conforming to the eyeballs. I wish I could sculpt along this time, but I'm working on a Superman versus Homelander sculpt. I will give you this a shot afterwards, though it looks amazing. I'm glad you will. That's what I want to learn. I was actually gonna try to make a cyborg Superman, but I noticed the hard surface can sometimes take an organic approach to the process, especially sci-fi ones. Do you apologize or merge Dynamesh the tentacles to attach merge to the main head? I'm going to Dynamesh it in to the main head today. How did you texture your tribal warrior? I want to do that realistic texture, but I don't know what the method. So I did it in Substance Painter. I just baked, you know, and then I used smart masks to get the texture done. I don't have any tutorials to share about that. That was back in college, you know, it's an old piece. I should delete it, actually. I saw somebody trying to get my links in chat, so I'm sharing my links. Hell of a lot of links. Mateo, obrigada. It's funny when you tilt your head and start rotating in my direction. I tilt my head to get a new perspective. It's weird to explain. I do that all the time too. I'm always tilting my head. It just happens. It just be like that sometimes. Little ape polish. It's amazing, tribal warrior. Tribal warrior! No! Then once the animation, do you then duplicate reproject it into the merged model? Sometimes. Speaking of the head tilt, it helps too. I remember a term called studio view in art class where the teacher asked us to stand up and look at our drawings from above while standing, different perspective as you said. Thank you, Emperor. Doomer, that little octopus. This is one of my messier sculpts, but I'm okay with that. And everything has to be tightened up. Problem here. Holes in the chest. Wonder if adding a little bit of water would be nice. If I like append. I know I'm angling the water, I can just angle everything else after. I'm having trouble with the tentacles on your end. What's going on with the tentacles? How many years do you work with this? About 7 years. Hi, Soto. Thank you. With the little beady eyes. Little baby beady eyes. Você usa ZBrush há quantos anos? 7 anos, mais ou menos. Where do you live? I want to date you. Even if it's messier, it still has great form. Not getting the settings right for the curved tubes. Here. Brush curved tubes. This is it here. So this is what I did for the size. So you turn on size, and then this was the swoop I did. And then for curve, I did lock start, so that the curves didn't wiggle everywhere. That was it's literally all I did. Not getting the settings right for the curves. Great example of crashing in Age of Conan MMO when it came out. Okay, I think it might be time that everybody's been waiting for, the Dynamesh. Everybody's really excited for Dynameshing today. Save first, just in case. Down. Actually, I'm gonna hold off on the Dynamesh just a little longer, guys. Hope you don't mind. Loved your Gugwai. Thank you, Muskin. We're just gonna ignore the back, yes? Sorry, Emperor. I didn't mean to say I was gonna do it and then put it off a little longer. You, Steven, and Pablo, I need you guys to do another collab stream. I'll hit him up. Yeah, we used to have fun. How does the TikTok song? Back in the day, you and me, baby. We used to have fun. We also did Shane Olsen, Ashley Adams, E Cubed. Dynamash, I'm gonna turn it up and see how that looks all together. Hopefully, oh, not so good. Not so bad either. Oopsies. And there we have the Dynamash. So from here I can start kind of even further blending tentacles in as necessary. Okay, let's paint. no, let's detail and then paint. So I might even go up a little higher on my Dynamesh, because I'll treat myself. Smooth in some places. My time is almost up. Okay, I'm gonna do the standard brush, maybe a little spray, maybe. Layer. First, layer. Go for the ZBrush gods, then layer. Add one. Gonna be kind of my base layer. Texturing. Don't worry, I'm just doing, I know I'm just kind of destroying a lot of things by doing this, but you'll see. Gotta trust the process. Pretty satisfying though. When I make my TikTok for this, I'll definitely be using this brush a lot. Cheguei quase no fim. I could have used the surface tool, but I kind of wanted to do this. Turn off symmetry. Along the top of the like spine. Tentacles, I know that they don't have spines, but since it's in a layer now, I can just turn down the intensity as I want to. And I can also turn off the layer, morph target, morph target, store morph target, then erase a little bit of the layer. In the belly. Stop recording. It's time. Usando um gato guerreiro, praticando miniatura pra começar a trabalhar com miniatura. Que legal, adoro um gato guerreiro. It's fur. Use a curve bend or just a snake hook. So for the tentacles, I used curve to brush. Standard, turn on alpha here, just create some general skin flow. Trust the process, guys. I really like using that like interpolate stroke, but I find that for like skinny tubes like this, sometimes it's just better to do manually for me. And if you guys have any tricks for like thin tubes, please throw them my way. And take into consideration the way skin should fold. I like to go harder on where there's like a big bend. Normally I would do this, you know, a little bit more slowly since I'm running out of time. Do you have Discord? Yes, I do. I'll post a link for you. How do you get hired making streams for Pixelogic? Go to ZBrushLive.com and see if they are looking for new applications. If so, you'll have to fill out a little PDF, you know, and explain to them like why they should pick you. And it's just like applying for a job. They'll ask you stuff like if you've streamed before, if you know how to stream. It really helps to know how to use stream software, to have a stream they can actually watch before they make their decision. You know, if you've already streamed, it's already a huge plus, right? So if you have your own stream that you do regularly, all good. All good ideas. I wonder what happens if I take the blob brush and I change it to spray. Nice. Exactly what I want. Messy. Act-like situation. Suppose would be. And by putting it in its own layer, of course, I can reduce the intensity later, change it, even invert it. With that, today you started with red then yellow. Yeah, I decided to change it to yellow. Okay, I missed so much chat. I really went in the zone for a second there. Okay, let's see. Didn't realize this brush could be good for eye wrinkles and folds. Live and learn every day. Just use ZBrush and wait for call. No. What's my computer specifics? Oh, I don't have them on me right now. With the eye today, you started with red. I already said. Anna, how do you end the curve so it doesn't try to connect the two with the dot? Are you making a curve, then clicking off, then making another curve? Like you have to do that. Otherwise, it'll try to think that the new curve you're doing is like connected. Next, let's paint it. So Cthulhu is green. That's what the Wikipedia told us. I really like him really dark. The highlight of the eye is just, you know. Dark base. I don't know if I like this. Grab a little bit of a mask. Masking, auto mask, mask. Mask a little bit. Should the tentacles be darker or lighter? I think dark looks nice. I mean, I think dark looks nice with everything in this piece, though, so... I'm struggling with, like, trying to make it visible, but also making it hella dark, you know? Oh shoot, I accidentally... Turn Dynamesh off, just in case. I don't want to accidentally be Dynameshing. Any tips you want to share for eyes? Well, I shared a bunch of tips earlier with for eyes, but basically when you're painting them like this, start with the darker colors and go to the lighter. And use a material that has a nice shiny bit on it so that, you know, you can enjoy it more. The lights that hits the eye bounce, like the light bounce, make literally all the difference. A color variation, perhaps. Strong. You want to have a nice balance as you're doing stuff like this. I should add a little shininess to his skin. So I'm gonna go to material. I'm just gonna use the material I have on now. I'm gonna go to modifiers and specular. We're gonna... I was gonna turn it up a little bit, but I don't have a really subtle touch for these particular... Just looks like he's in a hot tub. Okay. What the software does she use? This is ZBrush 2022. Do you apply the same fundamentals to your painting with layering as you do with your sculpting? I mean, you layer so that you can control the intensity of the colors with the layers. So yes, but although it can be a little hard to control color with layers, so I normally try to do all the colors at the end. Polypaint usable for exporting to game models or just mostly for renders? So polypaint is like vertex coloring. It's not going to be a texture unless you unwrap it and then create a diffuse or albedo texture from the polypaint. Hi Hassan. Most of them to use toy plastic, me too. How about light underneath the tentacle and darker on top, the way it solves the problem? If the model is for a ZBrush render, I recommend you make it a shadow in the visible top part of the eye. I did do that. Tim's workshop. Unbelievable! Tyler, your model has to have an active UV map. I'm good. Hassan. Leticia, tudo bem? How are you? I'm late for class. Okay, I think I am done. I should do the waters. Actually, one last thing. It's not given mad. Alright, everybody. So before I go, let's share my link so that you can come to my other streams and hang out with me and watch my YouTube tutorials, free stuff, giveaways, all of that. So first off, we have my social media links. They're about to be posted. There they are. I have Twitch, where I do my very own ZBrush stream every Sunday at 5 p.m. Central, and it's also where I'm going to be holding future giveaways and things like that. So I work with Wacom to give you guys tablets for free and things like that in the future. It's coming up. I still haven't announced the dates yet, but soon. So go join that, and then follow me on social media. I put on Twitter, Instagram, ArtStation, and TikTok for you guys to follow. It's the best way to get a hold of me. Send me a DM if you need anything. I do check my DMs very often. Although lately there are just people asking me to do NFTs. So I do check my DMs, so feel free to message me. I made a YouTube channel where I've been putting up like little little ZBrush tutorials for you guys, so feel free to go follow that. I have a little Discord server, and by little I mean it's not little at all. Actually, it's got like a lot of people in it. It's a place where you can hang out with all sorts of 3D artists of all walks of life, beginners to super pros. I like to call them super pros. I don't know why. And you can show off your work, show off your social media, get feedback on your work, give feedback to other people on their work, and just have a good time. Plus, all the challenges and giveaways will be organized through Discord, even though they will be on my stream. It's kind of, they go side by side. Then I have workshops and mentorships. If you ever need somebody to help you out with anything that's concerning you in your career, maybe you're applying to a lot of jobs and you're not hearing back. Maybe you don't know what the next portfolio piece you should do is. Maybe you don't even know where you stand in the professional field. Like if you're ready to apply for things, if you need somebody to help you, hold you accountable, create deadlines for you, find your strengths and weaknesses, and help you focus on your goals and achieve them, feel free to join my mentorship. It's one-on-one, completely private. You and me. We do meetings every month, things like that, where we get together and kind of supercharge your efforts. And then I have my workshop. Oh, sorry, the ArtStation link, for some reason, it breaks all the time. I don't know why. It's right, it's not wrong, it's weird. Try that. Let me see, I'm gonna click it. Yeah, it works for me. It's weird. And the workshop happens every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central. And basically, we do a new project every month, and I do lessons, demos, and it's like an online classroom environment so that you can join, you can follow along. We always start a sculpt from scratch at the beginning of the month, and then work on it throughout the month, learning new tips and tricks, completing new challenges, all the way to the end, where we render and finish it and make it portfolio ready. It also comes with both of these services comes with like a bunch of like extra stuff like early access to my tutorials when they're ready, or a party. We do a party every month at the end of the month where we like hang out with each other, and sometimes we play games. I also do challenges all the time. I did a big one this year for the New Year's, kind of like leaving stuff behind, starting a brand new chapter kind of challenge. Was really nice. I liked it a lot. Sometimes we read books, sometimes we like there's sorts of stuff. And by signing up for either the mentorship or the workshop, you actually get to gain access to all of my database that I share, anatomy, things, all sorts of fundamentals, how to do social media. That's another big thing that I help with. How to grow on TikTok, how to grow on Twitch, and you gain access to every past workshop ever. I started the workshops in March and I've done them once a week. So you have access to a ton of content, lessons, just all for like $50. So the link, I'm going to share it again just in case you just joined and missed it. In my Gumroad. The workshop starts at the beginning of the month. But you can already join, and catch up. It's just about an hour and a half each week. How to be super hot, huh? Hotness is an energy. It really is, actually. You just gotta act hot to be hot. It's like a whole thing, but we don't want to talk about that here. 5 p.m. Central Time. So Central Time is one of the USA time slots or time zones. You'll have to Google like 5 p.m. Central Time to my time zone, and then it will convert it for you. Google does that. So make sure you follow me on social media, join my YouTube for the free tutorials, join my workshop if you want to, join my mentorship if you need help. I'm super proud of the mentorship. Like I do a lot of like deep work with people, and it feels really nice. How often do you stream here? I stream here lately every Saturday, but I spent 4 years streaming every other Saturday. So lately I've just been streaming a lot more. Any questions before I go, guys? So don't forget, I'm partnered with Wacom and I'm going to be doing a ton of giveaways. I just don't have the date yet, but it's going to start this month or next month on my own Twitch channel, Anna Carolina Arts. So make sure you stop by, follow the channel, join the Discord. Even follow me on Instagram because I normally post Instagram stories for when these big events are happening. Alright? Follow the Pixelogic channel for more amazing 3D artists that all come on here and teach you amazing workflows. Okay? I will see you in the next one next Saturday. Tomorrow I'm streaming at 5 p.m. Central on my own channel, and we're going to be doing something for Valentine's Day or just going back to the project I started last week. I don't know. So we're gonna see. I really enjoyed hanging out with you all, and